Welcome back my channel. What if I told you that a simple coin in your drawer could be worth thousands of dollars? That's the story of the 1985 P. Washington quarter, a coin that, at first glance, seems ordinary but holds secrets that could make it extraordinarily valuable. In 1985, the United States Mint produced over 775 million Washington quarters at its Philadelphia facility. Despite this massive mintage, certain specimens have become rare due to their exceptional quality. The design of the 1985 P quarter features John Flanagan portrait of George Washington with the inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," along with the date 1985. The reverse showcases an eagle, a symbol of American strength and freedom. These elements connect the coin to the nation's heritage, making it more than just currency. What makes the 1985 P quarter particularly intriguing are the rare minting errors that can occur during production. Errors such as doubled dies, off-center strikes, and lamination flaws can significantly increase a coin's value. For example, a 1985 quarter with a double die error can be worth between $150 and $250, depending on its condition. An off-center strike of 30% can command around $135. These anomalies are sought after by collectors, adding to the coin's desirability. Collectors have shared stories of discovering these rare coins in everyday transactions. One collector recounted finding a 1985 P quarter with a lamination error in their change, which later sold for nearly $200. Such finds are thrilling as they not only hold monetary value but also a piece of history. In conclusion, the 1985 P Washington quarter is more than just a piece of currency. It's a testament to the intricacies of coin production and the potential hidden in everyday items. Absolutely. Let's dive deeper into the story of the 1985 P quarter, drawing out its mystery, historical context, collector passion, and just how unexpectedly valuable it can be. Here's the continuation of the video script in a natural, flowing, story-like tone, without headings as requested. Imagine this: you're sorting through spare change at the end of a long day, maybe tossing a few coins into a jar on your dresser. One of those coins is just a quarter. Or so you think. But what if that exact coin, this humble piece of pocket change, was worth not 25 cents, but up to $134,000? That's not a typo. That's the wild reality behind a rare breed of the 1985 P Washington quarter, a coin that has stunned collectors and casual finders alike. Its story is one of astonishing transformation, from a mass-produced currency to a prize worth more than a new car or even a down payment on a house. To really appreciate how this coin became so sought after, we have to rewind the clock to 1985. America in the mid-80s was a mix of technological change and political tension. Ronald Reagan was president, MTV was still playing music videos, and the Cold War lingered in the background of everyday life. Amidst all this, the U.S. Mint continued its routine, striking hundreds of millions of coins for daily use. In Philadelphia alone, they produced over 775 million Washington quarters that year. These coins were meant for vending machines, parking meters, laundromats, not for museums or velvet-lined display cases. And yet, among them, a few special quarters stood out. The 1985 P quarter, in its most basic form, is a standard Washington quarter. The obverse shows the bust of George Washington, his gaze steady and enduring. The word "Liberty" arcs above his head, with "In God We Trust" nestled to the left. Beneath him is the date, 1985. The reverse features the powerful image of a bald eagle, wings spread, perched on a bundle of arrows, symbols of preparedness and strength. Above the eagle is United States of America, and below it, the denomination, quarter dollar. The design is familiar, timeless even, but the story lies in the deviations, the rare imperfections that turned routine into rarity. Minting errors are where things get interesting. While most of these coins came out as expected, some didn't. Some coins had what collectors call double die errors, where the engraving was struck more than once, creating a blurry or doubled look on certain words or features. Others were struck off-center, meaning part of the design was shifted or missing entirely. There were even lamination errors where the metal layers of the coin peeled or flaked in unexpected ways. These weren't seen as flaws by collectors, they were treasures. Because errors mean rarity. And in the world of coin collecting, rarity means value. Now picture this: a pristine 1985 P quarter, graded MS67+ by PCGS, sells at auction for $3,377. That's already impressive. But that's just scratching the surface. Some exceptional specimens with either flawless surfaces or dramatic mint errors have been estimated and in rare cases sold for as high as $20,000. And in very specific legendary cases, unique versions have attracted offers north of $134,000. Yes, for a single coin that most people wouldn't look twice at. And here's the kicker, many of these coins were never taken out of circulation. They were found in change, in pockets, in drawers. Which means yours could still be out there. The coin collecting community has countless stories of jaw-dropping discoveries. One man from Ohio found a rare off-center 1985 P quarter while counting a roll of change from the bank. It sold for hundreds. A Florida collector pulled a nearly uncirculated 1985 P quarter from a soda machine. He sent it in for grading and walked away with a four-figure payday. These aren't fairy tales. They're real-life moments when everyday people stumbled into numismatic gold. You might be wondering, how do I know if my 1985 P quarter is one of the valuable ones? First, check for the P mint mark, which should be located to the right of Washington's ponytail. Then look for signs of an error. Is the design off-center? Are any of the letters doubled or blurry? Is the surface peeling or uneven? If you're unsure, take the coin to a certified coin dealer or submit it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. A small investment in grading could reveal a massive return in value. Even without errors, condition matters. A 1985 P quarter in mint state condition, meaning it has never been used in circulation, can fetch hundreds or even thousands if it's in a high enough grade. The scale goes from MS60 to MS70, with each tick upward increasing the value. An MS67 coin might sell for a few hundred. An MS68? That's the kind of coin that turns heads at auctions. And remember, the difference between MS67 and MS68 can be microscopic, literally a matter of barely visible scratches or subtle luster. Beyond the dollars and cents, these coins carry something else: history. They're a physical piece of 1985, a time capsule from a year when Back to the Future hit theaters, when the first version of Windows was released, and when the Cold War loomed large. Holding one in your hand is like holding a sliver of American life from 4 decades ago. And if that sliver happens to be a rare error or high-grade example, it might just change your life. Collectors often say that coin collecting is about more than money, it's about the thrill of the hunt. The idea that a national treasure might be hiding in a gas station coin tray or in a forgotten piggy bank. And the 1985 P quarter is the perfect symbol of that idea. It reminds us to stay curious, to look twice, to wonder what stories the things in our pockets might tell if we took the time to notice. And as we wrap up this deep dive into the 1985 P Washington quarter, remember this: somewhere out there, more of these coins are waiting to be discovered. Maybe in your change, maybe in a roll you picked up from the bank, maybe in the bottom of your junk drawer. And if you're lucky, if the stars align just right, you might be holding a coin that's worth not just 25 cents, but as much as $134,000. Don't miss your chance. Check your change. Look carefully, because treasures don't always come with maps. Sometimes they're hiding in plain sight. If you love this story, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more incredible coin tales that mix history, mystery, and maybe even a little bit of fortune. Share this video with a friend who collects or just likes a good treasure hunt. And stay tuned, because the next coin we uncover might just blow your mind. Number 2. Let's delve into the fascinating world of the 1978 Washington quarter. A coin that, at first glance, might seem ordinary but holds a wealth of history, design intricacies, and hidden treasures waiting to be uncovered. Imagine this. You're going through a jar of loose change, perhaps sorting out a few quarters to use for parking or a vending machine. Among them, you spot a 1978 Washington quarter. At face value, it's just another coin. But what if I told you that this seemingly mundane quarter could be worth far more than its 25-cent denomination? That's the allure of coin collecting, the potential for discovery in the most unexpected places. The 1978 Washington quarter was minted during a period of significant economic and cultural change in the United States. The country was experiencing the tail end of the 1970s, a decade marked by economic challenges, including inflation and energy crises. Despite these challenges, the U.S. Mint continued its operations, producing millions of coins to meet the nation's needs. The 1978 quarter, with its classic design, was part of this effort. Designed by John Flanagan, the obverse of the 1978 quarter features a left-facing bust of George Washington, the first president of the United States. Surrounding his portrait are the inscriptions "Liberty" at the top and "In God We Trust" to the left. Below Washington's image is the year 1978. The reverse side showcases an eagle with outstretched wings, clutching an olive branch and arrows, symbolizing peace and readiness. Above the eagle are the words United States of America, and below, quarter dollar. While the design remained consistent with previous years, the 1978 quarter holds particular interest for collectors due to several factors. One notable aspect is the mintage numbers. In 1978, the U.S. Mint produced over 800 million quarters across various minting facilities, including Philadelphia, No Mint Mark, Denver, D Mint Mark, and San Francisco, S Mint Mark. Despite the high mintage, certain variations and errors make specific 1978 quarters more valuable. For instance, the 1978 S-proof quarter, struck in San Francisco, is a collector's item due to its mirrored surfaces and sharp details. These proof coins were produced in limited quantities and are often sought after by numismatists. On the other hand, the 1978 P and 1978 D quarters, minted for general circulation, can also hold value, especially if they exhibit unique characteristics or errors. Speaking of errors, the 1978 quarter is known to have several, each adding to its intrigue and value. One such error is the off-center strike, where the coin is not properly aligned during the minting process, resulting in a design that appears shifted. Depending on the degree of misalignment, these coins can be quite valuable. Another error is the double strike, where the coin is struck more than once, leading to overlapping images. This can create a unique and collectible piece. Collectors have also noted the presence of improperly annealed planchets in some 1978 quarters. Annealing is the process of heating the metal to a specific temperature to relieve stress and make it more workable. If this process is not done correctly, it can result in coins with unusual colors or textures, which can be of interest to collectors. The value of a 1978 Washington quarter can vary significantly based on its condition, mint mark, and any unique characteristics or errors it may possess. While most circulated quarters from this year are worth only their face value, those in uncirculated condition or with notable errors can command higher prices. For example, a 1978 S-proof quarter in excellent condition can be worth several dollars, while a 1978 D quarter with a significant error might fetch even more. Beyond the monetary value, the 1978 Washington quarter holds historical significance. It represents a snapshot of a particular time in American history and serves as a tangible connection to the past. For collectors, each coin tells a story, and the 1978 quarter is no exception. In conclusion, while the 1978 Washington quarter may seem like just another coin, it carries with it a rich history and the potential for discovery. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a casual observer, taking the time to examine your coins can lead to fascinating insights and perhaps even valuable finds. So, the next time you're sorting through your change, take a moment to look at that 1978 quarter. You might just be holding a piece of history in your hand. Number 3, that's the story of the 1983 P. Washington quarter, a coin that, at first glance, seems ordinary but holds secrets that could make it extraordinarily valuable. In 1983, the United States Mint produced over 673 million Washington quarters at its Philadelphia facility. Despite this massive mintage, certain specimens have become rare due to their exceptional quality. For instance, a 1983 P quarter graded MS-67 by PCGS fetched an astounding $1,925 at auction, highlighting how condition can turn a common coin into a prized collectible. In fact, among the more than 1,000 1983 P quarters graded by PCGS, only 11 have achieved the MS-67 grade, making them true rarities. The design of the 1983 P quarter features John Flanagan portrait of George Washington with the inscriptions Liberty and In God We Trust, along with the date 1983. The reverse showcases an eagle, a symbol of American strength and freedom. These elements connect the coin to the nation's heritage, making it more than just currency. What makes the 1983 P quarter particularly intriguing are the rare minting errors that can occur during production. Errors such as double dies, off-center strikes, and lamination flaws can significantly increase a coin's value. For example, a 1983 quarter with a double die error can be worth between $1,000 and $10,000, depending on its condition. An off-center strike of 45% can command around $15,800. These anomalies are sought after by collectors, adding to the coin's desirability. Collectors have shared stories of discovering these rare coins in everyday transactions. One collector recounted finding a 1983 P quarter with a lamination error in their change which later sold for nearly $200. Such finds are thrilling as they not only hold monetary value but also a piece of history. In conclusion, the 1983 P Washington quarter is more than just a piece of currency, it's a testament to the intricacies of coin production and the potential hidden in everyday items. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a casual observer, this coin reminds us that treasures can be found in the most unexpected places. So, take a moment to check your pockets or drawers. You might just have a rare 1983 P quarter waiting to be discovered. Now, if you're still with me, here's where things get really interesting. Let's talk about the market today. You might be thinking, okay, so a few coins in pristine condition are worth some money, big deal. But here's the kicker, that number isn't small. Collectors are not only on the hunt for high-grade coins, but the demand for these coins has absolutely surged in the last few years. It's not just die-hard numismatists anymore. Everyday people, moms, teens, even social media influencers are joining the hunt for modern rarities. One of the biggest spikes in value came after a perfectly preserved 1983 P quarter, no major errors, just incredibly well-struck and well-preserved, sold at auction for a jaw-dropping $15,863. That coin was graded MS-67 by PCGS. To put that in perspective, 67 out of a possible 70 on the grading scale. Think about that. Out of 673 million coins, only a tiny handful have been found in that condition. It's like pulling a diamond out of a sandbox, and we haven't even touched on the biggest mystery of all, why so few 1983 quarters exist in good shape. The absence of mint sets that year is part of the puzzle, yes. But there's more. The quality of the coin blanks, called planchets, in 1983 was notoriously low. The U.S. Mint was cutting corners using recycled materials. Many of these planchets were riddled with impurities, rough textures, and inconsistent metal mixes. Even if the design was perfectly struck, the surface wouldn't hold up. Coins started looking worn just weeks after entering circulation. Some even say this is what makes the 1983 P quarter symbolic of the time itself. It was the early Reagan years, a time of economic rebuilding, yes, but also one of tightening belts and compromise. In a weird, poetic way, the coin reflects the national mood. A little scruffy. A little imperfect, but still deeply, unmistakably American. Now let's talk stories, because the true magic of a rare coin isn't just its value, it's the journey. There was a man in North Carolina, we'll call him Dave, who inherited a few coffee tins full of coins from his grandfather. Mostly common stuff, nickels, dimes, old wheat pennies. But among them was a 1983 P quarter that looked different. The shine, the detail in Washington's hair, the clarity of the eagle's feathers. He sent it in to PCGS on a whim. 2 months later, the grading came back, MS-67. He sold it at auction for over $14,000 and paid off the remainder of his student loans. Another collector, a teenager in Ohio named Jessica, was roll hunting quarters. That's where you go to the bank, grab rolls of coins, and sift through them for hidden gems. She came across a 1983 P with a strange, raised ridge along the rim. Curious, she posted it in an online coin forum. Within hours, experts were weighing in. Turns out it was a partial collar strike error where the coin isn't fully seated in the press. She eventually had it appraised and was offered $3,500. These aren't just stories, they're proof. Proof that history is sitting right there, in your drawer, your purse, your change jar. And if you've got the curiosity, the patience, and a little bit of luck, you could stumble onto something extraordinary. Let's revisit that design for just a moment. Because the closer you look, the more you realize how detailed and artistic this coin really is. George Washington's portrait on the obverse was originally adapted from a bust by French sculptor Jean-Antoine Houdon, created in 1785. John Flanagan used that bust as a reference in 1932 when the U.S. Mint held a competition to redesign the quarter for the bicentennial of Washington's birth. Flanagan winning design became an icon, appearing on the quarter from 1932 all the way until the state quarters began in 1999. The reverse, the eagle, poised and proud, is equally symbolic. The arrows it sits on represent the country's readiness for war, while the olive branches beneath suggest the hope for peace. These aren't just decorative flourishes. They're coded into our history. They're the visual DNA of a nation that's constantly balancing strength with diplomacy. And if you're lucky enough to find a rare variant of this coin, like the spitting eagle variety where a small die crack extends from the eagle's beak, you're looking at a piece of history twice over. Not only is it a glimpse into America's story, it's a glimpse into the fragile, human process of minting money. Every error is a fingerprint from a chaotic, unpredictable process, and don't think this only applies to coin nerds. Just last year, a TikTok user with zero numismatic experience posted a video of a strange-looking 1983 quarter she found in a parking lot. The video went viral. Experts identified it as an off-center strike, and guess what? It sold online for over $2,000. One coin, found on the ground. That's the kind of treasure we're talking about, and remember, this isn't a once-in-a-generation opportunity. These coins are still out there. In bankrolls, in cash registers, in piggy banks. The window isn't closed, but it is narrowing because as more people learn the truth about the 1983 P quarter and coins like it, the market gets tighter. High-grade examples disappear into private collections. Prices rise. And one day, the coin that might have been sitting in your change jar could be valued in the six figures. Yes, you heard me right. Some experts estimate that ultra-rare, high-grade 1983 P quarters, especially with dramatic errors, could fetch between $20,000 and $134,000 in the right market. That's life-changing money. For a coin that costs 25 cents to make. So here's my challenge to you. The next time you get change at a gas station, the next time you're rolling coins at home, or you're helping your parents clean out the garage, take a second. Look closely. Pull out the quarters. Find the ones from 1983. Flip them over. Examine them. You might just hold the next big find in American numismatics. If you liked this video, do me a favor. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss the next installment in our Hidden Coin Treasure series. Because if you thought the 1983 P quarter was a shock, wait till you see what's coming next. Stay curious. Stay patient. And as always, stay tuned because the next coin might just surprise you.